I would like to call to order the regularly scheduled design review board meeting for August 15th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. We'll begin with roll call. Stephen Antonio, I'm here. Elaine Lang.
Here.
All right. Polly Gardeau Rice. Polly, you're here, right? Is your sound on?
I see her.
And I think we'll go to Anka Dragulski. All right, Anka is here for anyone that missed that. Polly just texted me she needs to switch systems because she can't hear anything. So let's sort of kill some time before we present, just so that we have a quorum for the presentation. Bill, Bill Clegg, will you be presenting on behalf of the applicant? You're on mute, bud.
Thank you. I forgot I was. I can do that. I sent the information to the town. I have to pull it up and find that email that has all of it in.
No worries,
Ron,
we have it. And to be honest, Bill, I want to wait till Polly is fully engaged so she will hear the presentation.
Yeah, and Steve, Laura, I think Laura's got those slides up so she could share her screen if that's more appropriate.
Cool. Polly, can you hear us by chance?
Yeah, sorry, I had to switch. For whatever reason, the other computer wasn't letting me do anything.
No worries. Are you ready for us to roll forward?
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries at all. Bill, we were just talking to Bill Clegg, who was going to present with some assistance from Laura doing a share screen on application ZC number 22-24 of the town of Simsbury. Owner Bill Clegg, applicant for a special exception site plan and sign permit pursuant to section 6.3 of the Simsbury zoning regulations to construct a 3,000 square foot plus or minus addition in the floodplain zone at 22 Iron Horse Boulevard, better known to the lay person as the Simsbury Performing Arts Center. Bill, you ready to take it away?
Sure. So thank you for having us here tonight. I appreciate your efforts, guys, all the work you guys do. And just to give you a little background on the project, some of you may recall that when the Performing Arts Center was first designed, much of what we are proposing now was part of the original design, but the budget didn't allow for it to move forward, so some of that was cut out of it. We're now at the place where we're looking to do what we're calling phase 2, which is offices, shared restrooms for staff, restrooms that will support the Rotary Park and the bike path and all the other activities that go on, the dog park, all the other activities that go on down there. And it will help us. So you probably see whenever you have large events, even with the Hartford Symphony, we have to rent trailers for dressing rooms and practice areas for rehearsals and just tuning up before the event. This will also provide those permanent dressing rooms and also for when we have stars. It has a little dressing room for a star performer, but all of this is made, and again, being you guys are design review guys, this is made to make those trailers go away. So we don't have to see those on a regular basis. The design, phase 0 has helped us along with the design, and we're probably about 25 to 30% documents right at the moment. And we are here to talk about what we're designing. Really, all of it is to kind of add to and mimic the style of what is already existing. So a lot of the roof lines, materials, all of that is meant to just continue what we have already. Thanks, Laura. So you can see in the plan that I was just talking about restrooms on the left-hand side that are for common use for Rotary Park and others. We have a little office for Missy. I'm sure all of you have gotten to know her. During season, we have additional staff that we hire. So there's some offices that you can see there. some dressing rooms, multi-purpose rooms, and a little bit of storage. Steve, I think you're trying to talk, but you're on mute. My turn to say
Yeah,
that.
and I live to catch people doing that. Anyways, while we were scrolling through, one of the questions that came to my mind, it's just as much curiosity as design review. Will the parking lot be paved?
The parking lot is already paved. It was
Okay.
paved
well,
for the
sorry, I haven't
beginning of
been
this
back here
season.
this year.
Yes, it was one of the projects that we've been working on with the town for quite a long time, and we are very thrilled that that parking lot is paved.
It's a nice improvement.
And the other piece to maybe just add to that is both Ron and I worked hand in hand with the town with the layout of that parking lot so that there really is hopefully no work that has to be changed on the parking lot work that's just been completed to be able to allow us to do what we're looking to do here.
Okay, that sounds like a great overview, Bill. Hold on one sec.
Certainly open to
Can't
questions.
have repeal. I'll speak first. I don't really have too many questions because you follow the lines of the original structure. I see a lot of, the vision continued, and it seems to be consistent. I don't see it affecting any of the neighbors, and you're using similar building materials that's consistent with the existing structure. There's no additional brownstone, but I'm sure that's somewhat cost prohibitive.
There's a little bit. So if you look in this image that you see here, there's like a little pillar right outside those restrooms. There's a little bit more brownstone added.
That's cool. And I love the way the support follows the same supports for the main stage.
Yep.
Anka, would you be willing to go next, or it's up to you?
Sure, I definitely welcome the addition. I'm glad the town is able to afford finalizing the addition to this initially great project. And I'm very happy that it is in Bill Clegg's hands. I have no doubt that he's extremely talented in designing a beautiful addition to what originated as a Schoenhardt project many years ago. So good luck with everything. And yes, I do appreciate their efforts, and I like the design very much. I'm sure the outcome will be great. Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you very much, Anka. I want to interrupt, if it's okay for me to interrupt.
Yeah.
One of the things that, and it doesn't have anything to do with design, but just being on the Performing Arts Board for as long as I have, I want to clarify that the town owns the building and the land, but the Performing Arts Center manages the facility. We have an agreement with the town to manage it and to run events. We're a separate LLC from the town. And what I'm mentioning that is it'll be a combination of funds raised by the Performing Arts Center and by the town to be able to accomplish this.
Okay, that's always valuable information.
Most people don't understand the relationship between the town and us on this site. So that's why whenever I can, I try to clarify it.
You're right. Once, it's not a common knowledge type thing, I presume. Nope. Polly, do you have any questions while we're in the open forum aspect of the presentation?
Actually, I don't. I think it looks amazing, and I can't wait for it to get rid of those trailers that are there right now.
Neither can we.
I have been on the new pavement, and it's so nice and clean. I have a habit with a couple high school friends of picking up trash, and now that this has been paved, people don't leave their trash on the parking lot because it's so blatant. So anything to clean up and help people keep it clean, I'm all for it. I'm very impressed. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thanks,
Elaine, do you have anything in the open forum? We still can deliberate, of course, but
yeah, no, I don't have anything. I think it great job. It meets a lot of functional needs that needed to be met while still preserving the attractiveness of the facility. So I think it's great.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to invite anyone else from the general public, if you have any comments or questions, to speak up now. Okay, hearing none, let's close the application and deliberate amongst the commissioners. Hey, George, is he still here? George, do you want me to make a motion for a positive referral prior to closing the application or after closing the application deliberating?
You know, I think because you're advisory, I think technically it doesn't matter. So I think it's appropriate right now if you're ready to.
Okay, well, let me check with the other commissioners, being Polly, Elaine, and Anka. Is there any further deliberation you guys would like to discuss?
Nope.
I don't have anything on this one.
Then there's no reason to delay. I'd like to make a motion for a positive referral of application ZC 22-24 of the town of Simsbury owner, Bill Clegg, applicant for a special exception site plan sign permit pursuant to section 6.3 of the Simsbury zoning regulations to construct a 3,000 square foot plus or minus addition in the floodplain zone at 22 Iron Horse Boulevard. Would someone like to second that?
I'll second.
Thank you, Elaine. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
There's nobody to vote nay or abstain, so it's unanimous. Your positive referral. Good luck when you get to zoning, and thank you for taking the time to take our input.
We thank you very much. I really appreciate all your comments.
Thank you. Have a great
Thanks,
night.
thanks, folks. Have a great night.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night.
Okay, moving along, our next application. I'm sorry? I thought someone said something. Moving along, our next application is ZC 22-26 of Willow Arms Mutual Housing Association owner, Susan Odell, applicant, for a site plan amendment pursuant to section 11 of the Simsbury zoning regulations to perform site improvements to exterior and interior features, lighting, and landscaping at 55 Elm Street. Susan, do you prefer Susan, Sue, or just hey you?
I'll answer anything, but if you're asking, I prefer Susan. Thank you.
Okay, no worries at all. Susan, are you presenting on behalf of the applicant?
Yes, I am.
Okay, if you'd like to give us a rough overview, we'd appreciate it.
Sure. So good evening. I'm Susan Odell, Senior Associate at Paul B. Bailey Architect in New Haven, Connecticut. Thank you for being here tonight to review the proposed renovation of Willow Arms located at 55 Elm Street in Terriffville. Willow Arms is an 81-unit existing low-rise housing development built circa 1970. There are 7 buildings, 7 building groupings, I should say, along with a community building on an approximately 8.5 acre site. The buildings are arranged around a generous green space with a driveway parking loop around the outside of the buildings. The neighborhood of Terriffville is a typical New England village. It's got a mix of housing types and styles, including picket fences, walkable streets, and even colorful displays of civic engagement. Willow Arms was last renovated in 1996-97 when the wood siding, porches, and community building were added. Though the property has had continuous routine maintenance since that time, it is overdue for a refurbishment that brings it up to the modern requirements of energy efficiency, improved living standards for the residents, and appropriate neighborly presence in Terriffville. Here's a closer view of the street-facing side of buildings 1 and 2. Challenges that we have are that the brick is in very good condition and we want to preserve it, but the window openings and the porches are small relative to the massing of the buildings. And the facades are very planar with just the slightest bit of projection here at the central bay. The buildings are very basic. They're simple rectangular boxes with gable end roofs. Here's proposed view of the same buildings. We are adding shutters and window boxes along the street facing view to help those small window openings have more presence. We're adding 2-story porches, mostly along the courtyard sides of the buildings, but we wanted to add one on the street facing side of building 1. There are new overhangs at the basement doors that you can see over here on the side. And in general, new siding, roofing, and exterior trim. Here's an existing condition view of the courtyard side. And on this side, additional challenges included the stripes of alternating brick and siding, which aren't equal in width. One is, it's hard to see in this photo, but this one is wider than this one, and that's pretty consistent. And also the awkward corner connections of the 3 buildings that comprise each building group. So we are proposing 2-story porches, which will give each resident a private outdoor space. They are connected by an expanded 1-story entry porch. To address the striped facade problem, we chose to install siding that is the same color as the brick so that the facade blends into a background and lets the new porches shine. Here's existing conditions of the drive along the driveway side, further back into the site. And you can see clearly that the buildings are in need of refurbishment. Here's the proposed view of that same grouping of buildings with new porches, siding, shutters, roofing, windows, and doors. Here are the selected colors of the fiber cement siding and trim that will be used to replace the existing wood siding. So we've got khaki brown, Navajo beige, mountain sage. This is the background color to match the brick. And here we have the selected roof color that will be used for the roof replacement and the roofs of the new porches. And this is the fiber cement siding trim, which is Arctic white. So the siding on the main face of the building is lap siding, and on the porches it will be the shingle siding. And finally, here is a view, our proposed new look of Willow Arms. The goal of the project is to provide improved and more visually attractive living spaces for the residents, incorporating increased energy efficiency, improved indoor air quality, new private outdoor spaces, improved public outdoor spaces, improved trash management, and enhanced building facades that are better suited to the design standards of Simsbury. And that's it.
Are all the tenants going to have to move out in order to have this done?
It will be an occupied renovation, so they'll be doing it one building grouping at a time.
Okay, it's really not part of the thing, but I'm just curious. Okay, thank you. So it's not going to be as invasive as it could be.
It's more of a challenge. You know, a builder, of course, prefers a big empty site, but we do occupied renovations all the time.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions as long as you've started as far as the presentation or details?
No, I'm excited about this for Terrafil. This is I've delivered meals there to Meals on Wheels, and I'm really happy to see that something's in line to make it a little more pleasing to the eye. And also, I love the idea of the porches. Outside living is so important. So that's terrific. And that's all I have.
Cool. Anka, questions, comments?
Susan, thank you very much. It was an excellent presentation. Very, very nice. Thank you. And yes, I do like everything you're proposing. I welcome the renovation. I'm sure it needs to be done within a budget, not very big budget. So I'm sure everything you're proposing in terms of material and adding those porches and it's great. The only question, but again, it's just for myself. Do you have a detail of the railing that you propose for the porches? Maybe it's too early in design.
Just share that view again.
Yeah, if you can zoom a bit, but again, I'm just curious. I'm sure it's perfect. It's a
Didn't zoom. Uh, so the sidewalls are shingle-sided, solid walls, and then along the front would be a simple metal railing painted black.
okay, like vertical pickets,
With
vertical
just
rounds.
simple
Okay,
vertical pickets.
metal. Okay. Excellent. No, very nice renovation. Very nice. I'm sure it will improve the look tremendously.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for the presentation. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elaine, questions, comments?
No, I think it's a great improvement. It's a great, example of having, achievable housing, nice walkable area, and it should be a pleasant place for people to live and be part of the community. So I think you did a good job of kind of working with what you had in a way that's harmonious and looks fresh. So very nice.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Elaine. I have a couple quick questions. The flower boxes, I assume those are made out of like the AZAC or the Hardy plank version of it.
Mhm.
What will be in the flower boxes and who will maintain those?
Very excellent question. The management company will maintain those and be responsible for what's in them. And it has been suggested, even though the owners are very much in favor of real materials throughout, it has been suggested that some artificial greenery be placed in them and changed seasonally in order to maintain a consistent and pleasing appearance.
Yeah, no, there is a place for fox plants. Solar, I know part of the facility has solar. What are your intentions as far as the existing as well as potential future solar panels on the roofs?
So the current solar is solar hot water, which we applauded the owner for putting in well ahead of the current trend. But it has reached its useful life and is no longer functioning as it should. So we will remove the solar hot water panels and we will put up new solar panels to, just the typical solar panels that you see on people's roofs now everywhere.
Okay, but that's only on that one, it's only on one building if I remember correctly. Is that correct? The solar panels?
I want to look at the set. Well, I put it away. I can't look at it.
No, it's okay, but it's
Yeah, I think the
existing.
landscape drawings show the potential locations for solar, which is more than one building. Give me one
Okay.
sec. So we've had a solar company analyze the site and provide and tell us which locations are feasible. I just want to see if we got that information in the set to you, and I don't see it yet.
I see notes of existing solar on,
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
no, it's
page I'm
not.
on.
It's not in the landscape set, so it wouldn't be in here. Basically, it's the south-facing
Right.
facades. If I go to, let's see if I can use this thing to back up.
Oh, they were in the last picture. There you go.
So north is here along Elm Street, south is here. So all the south-facing roofs that don't have the giant big trees in front of them have potential for solar. So like these two, this one, basically, the southern facing.
So you
this-
won't be able to view them from coming down from Elm
No.
Street.
Yeah, that
No.
was my
Okay.
main.
And that's
Fine.
kind of nice.
Right.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, the other thing I noticed was whoever did the landscaping plan, accolades to that man. They put some time into thinking that through. It's really a nice plan. Back to my points though, the first floor balconies, just to confirm, there's no access to these by the tenants directly from grade? On
Correct.
the lower unit, obviously, only I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Correct. The porches are all accessed only from inside the units. So they're
Okay.
they're
So
enclosed.
it's consistent, the railing is the same upper and lower.
Right.
Okay. Those are the extent of my questions. Is there anyone from the general public or anyone else that would like to ask a question while we're in an open forum for clarification or comments? Okay, hearing none, and I think we will still close the application so we can deliberate amongst the commissioners. Anka, how do you feel about it? I mean, it seemed pretty positive.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's an improvement. I mean, yeah, realistically, what else can be done? It's nice. Yeah, it will help the property overall and the people who live there. So definitely positive referral. Yes.
Okay. Elaine, do you have any comments?
No, nothing beyond what I already said. I think it, you know, the colors are kind of traditional and won't go out of style next year. You know, it's an improvement and
It's
thumbs
an
up.
investment too. You can see the investment, which
Yeah.
is, you know, appreciated by our town. Polly, what do you have?
Nothing further, all good.
All right. Well, with that being said, would someone else like to make, I'll just do it. I'd like to make a motion for, a positive referral of application ZC 22-26 of Willow Arms Mutual Housing Association owner Susan Odell, applicant for a site plan amendment pursuant to section 11 of the Simsbury zoning regulations to perform site improvements to exterior and interior features, lighting and landscaping at 55 Elm Street. Would someone like to second that motion?
Sure.
Aye, thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Hi.
It's unanimous. No one left to vote nay or abstain. So we wish you luck with the zoning board, and we definitely appreciate not only your time to present to us, but your investment in our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, moving along, we have an approval of minutes from the July 18th, 2022 regular meeting. Did anyone else read? I read them. And who
I
writes
wasn't there,
now?
so I can't comment.
Okay. Who's writing the minutes? I'm just curious. Because it was a new format. Is that because of you, George, or?
I'm not sure who did those minutes. We have hired
It doesn't matter.
two
They
new
came out
commission
perfect.
clerks. I think still Joe might have done that one. I forget. Who knows?
Okay,
Is
well, nice
is
job.
the format okay?
Yeah, no, it was just, I was just curious because it's, I never saw yay and nays by person, which is great. There's no reason for it not to be. We're very fortunate that the small commission, we usually move as a group and most things are unanimous anyways. With that being said, and hearing no other corrections or input, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of July 18th, 2022.
I'll second.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you for seconding. All those in favor? Aye. Nay, and abstain. Holly? All right, we have 3 yeas and 1 abstain for the minutes. General Commission business. George, do we have anything new we should be discussing?
I don't have anything new for you, but I thank you for taking this meeting in the summer, the peak of August here. Appreciate it.
One of the things, George, that discussed with me is it is great to start splitting it up with zoning. So when we do have something that we want them to come back, it's not a deadline of 7:30 p.m. on the same night. We can have a little time where they can represent if we ever hit that. Also addressing, I think it was nice that we got together. It would have been nice, honestly, for this meeting to have the samples of the hardy boards and everything else. So are we all in favor of resuming in person at the commencement of summer?
I am.
All right.
Okay.
Anka, Elaine, you're in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we'll proceed with that. Not presumably, our next meeting is not until September 19th. Cripes,
Yeah,
over
19th.
a month.
Yep.
So anyways, without further ado, still getting down to business, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Hi.
It's unanimous. Thank you all for your time and effort. Appreciate you coming to a
Yeah.
August meeting.
Great
and I'll
rest
see
of the
you all-
summer.
Okay,
All right.
guys, be safe.
Take care.